Hello everybody, and welcome to, The Illusion of Gaia. Perhaps my favorite game of all time. This first video I'm actually wanted to try something a little bit different. I had thrown out the idea of a podcast on my forums, and what I wanted to basically do with this is that there will be no gameplay at all in this first video, so if you're not interested in listening to my thoughts about the game, feel free to move on to part 2 where I'll actually be playing the game. What I wanted to start with on this game is why it was so special to me as my #1 favorite game of all time. And what this really comes down to is it really captured a big thing for me in my childhood. I have a feeling a lot of people will either roll their eyes saying, "What the hell is he talking about?" or they'll say, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's one game for you that is just amazing, that when you played it as a kid, it doesn't matter how many times you played it, you couldn't get enough of this game, and it just captures something. I've probably beaten this game close to 15 times at least, and I still have such a great love and passion for this game, and I still have such a great enjoyment of this game, that, I just feel like it is my favorite. And what this really comes down to is that, I started playing video games, really playing them on my own at probably around 4 years old with the regular Nintendo system. But this was the first story-driven game that I had ever really attempted on my own. And I don't consider Super Mario World or any of that really story-driven. That's not the main element to the game. The main element to the game is obviously, your platforming or anything like, and that's what a lot of games were. There were story elements, but it wasn't story-driven. I had played story-driven games, mostly the point-and-click adventures that I played with my sister. Games with fantastic storylines, at least that I thought, but, they were really beyond what I could do. This was the first game that I had ever gotten my hands on that I fell in love with this concept of characters telling a story and multiple characters telling a story. And because of that, I kept working through it, and the game is very challenging, for a 10-year-old to try and beat. Hell, it's still probably going to challenge me a little bit today. But I don't know why this feeling that I got when I had finally reached the end of the game, it was an emotional feeling for me. It was, incredible. I distinctly remember actually tearing up a little bit when I was watching the end of the game. And I felt this whole journey that I had gone on and this whole journey that I experienced. And because of that, that's what really set the RPG up for me as my favorite genre. Having a game be story-driven is just, it was incredible for me. Kind of a funny story with it is that, as I got older and everything, I continued to always go back to it until it gets to a certain point that, you just don't hook up the Super Nintendo anymore. And my niece was born. When she got to around 8 years old, I gave her my Super Nintendo. And I remember that I gave her all of my games, the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, I had Chrono Trigger in there, I had a bunch of games in there, Super Mario World, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all these games, but I could not give up The Illusion of Gaia. I still have it to this day. In fact, I'm looking at it right now in the box, that I pulled out when I moved into my place, that I still keep it. For me, it is just that one game that I will never be able to top, just because of how big it was in my childhood and how important it was for me. You also got to remember, it's a time when there really wasn't any help for beating video games. You couldn't just go to GameFAQs or go, my parents gave me an allowance so I could choose to buy a strategy guide or buy other games. And I wasn't going to buy a strategy guide for this game. That, I'm going to beat this game, and I'm going to do it completely on my own. And because of that, it was so incredible when I finally reached the end of it. To know, it was a real accomplishment for me. And you know, that certainly plays a big part of why I feel that way for this game. I'm curious to see how many other people out there have this one game for them. I'm sure a lot of you who have never played this, if you play this game today, it'll probably be a good game, but I don't know if you'll have the same passion that I have for this game. Some of you know that long time fans of me know that I tried making an LP of this before, and I stopped it because I felt two things. The quality wasn't great. I was using Snagit at the time. And the other problem was I just didn't feel like my commentary was good enough for this game. And so I'm hoping now, after, you know, a couple of years of experience under my belt, that I can really convey to you just how much I love this game and just how amazingly incredible this game is. And please post, you know, if you guys have games of your own that you feel this way for. You know, it could be Super Mario World or something like that, or it could be anything. But there's that one game that doesn't matter how many times you beat it. I actually even beat this on a stream. When I was still streaming on Ustream, I went through the entire game. And even still, I want to share, you know, more than just this game, but my actual love of this game with all of you. I think what, you know, I really like about my LPing style is that, you know, when I'm having fun in a game, a lot of people can pick up on that passion that I have for gaming and that passion that I have for, you know, exploring and just delving into a game. And, you know, a lot of people then, I get tons of comments of, you know, I watched your LP and I had to go out and buy the game and play it myself, which to me there's no greater compliment to an LPer. When my, you know, enthusiasm for the game and my enjoyment of it makes you want to go out and play it, that's just the greatest compliment that I can get. And so, you know, I guess I've gone on long enough. I'm really itching now to actually get in the game. What I'm going to do is I will try and find, there's the collectibles in this game called Red Jewels. I think I know where they are. If I miss one, I miss one. I don't really care. Basically, the big thing is if you get all of them at the end, there's a hidden boss, which was actually from another one of the Quintet Studio games. May have been Terranigma. No, I forget which one it is now. It's, my mind is blanking on it. Soul Blazer? Maybe it was Soul Blazer. Regardless, you fight a boss from that game. There's plenty of it on YouTube. If you just type in Illusion of Gaia, you know, Hidden World or Secret Boss or 50 Red Jewels, you know, you'll probably get it there. The only time I can see myself using a guide on this game, though, is that if I know a red jewel is there and I can't find it, because it'll drive me insane. But if I miss one, I miss one. Regardless, I'm getting into the game now, so I will see you right there on Part 1. As always, folks, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you there on Part 1. Oh, look at that timing. That was perfect. Thanks for watching, folks.